All right, I think we are live. Let's see. Yes, we are. No webcam this morning. It's really early. I literally just wanted to post this update for Grim Dawn. Sometimes I like to archive my progression in the game with different characters and see how things are going. Um, Sorry, I have a little bit of like an allergy thing going on this morning. It's that time of year, fall allergies and all that. So sorry about that. Let's get on with this though. Come on, Cyclone. It's time to get to the game. So, Apostate time. Let's talk about this. So, this is an interesting character. I want to first preface by saying this is not done. This character is we're still leveling up some devotions. We're still tinkering with different build ideas and some of the stats. But this is a Siphon Souls Apostate. Now Siphon Souls, I've done a little bit of research on Siphon Souls. It's not, I wouldn't call it like a truly meta skill. I think it's an effective farming asset. It helps with clearing mobs, but it doesn't have great single target. The one thing it does, though, with this build, I'll go over the idea. And where I'm trying to focus in on this character. The focus is on, like, sustaining damage. So you get a pack of mobs, I pop the Siphon, I'm doing some other things, and the Vitality, the Aether, and the Decay, it begins to, like, just start affecting all these enemies. And it allows this character to sustain damage without having to directly confront, something like a face tank. This character is on the squishier side. I'll go over that in just a moment. But it's just not like I'm going to walk up and be in something's face. And, using a two-hander comes with that sacrifice. You're sacrificing the use of a shield. Shields are really, really good in Grim Dawn. I don't know if people realize, like, having that extra shield stat and block and defense, like, having a shield on your character is a big benefit. These builds usually go for huge single target, and this character isn't quite there. So that's why the theme is a little weird at the moment. It's probably not ideal, but anyway, we're going to go with it for now and try it out. So thematically, once again, we're going for Aether and Vitality damage. We'll start with damage. That's pretty nice. I like seeing, I'll talk about this in a moment. I'll talk about this. This is an interesting one. So, we're at, so here's the thing. Let's start with the character stats. So right now, I'm almost at 30% crit damage. A lot of that comes from this. I went full into Deadly Aim because I don't have very good offensive ability, right? And I need something to help with damage. So I've gone full into Deadly Aim. This is not necessary in a lot of builds, but I think this character needs the damage. So I'm going for it because having general buffs to a character like this is helpful. Like 80 damage, 16 crit, additional offensive ability. My offensive ability is currently not great on paper, but when I activate, hang on one second. There's something that raises it, and I'm trying to remember what that is. Is it a devotion or a skill? Something on this character. Oh, wait, hang on. Something on the character upgrades my offensive ability at times. And I'm trying to remember what that is. Is it? It's a skill. This is some of it. So when I use Spectral Binding, Well, it gives me that a little bit. But I'm trying to remember what it is. Something in my character gives me extra offensive ability for a period of time. Is it Inquisitor Seal? I'm trying to remember. I'm really trying to remember what it is. I'm sorry, I don't. It must be a devotion. But anyway, my character actually goes above 2,600 offensive ability at periods of time. I believe it's from a devotion. So this actually brings a character into a better stat line offensively. Right now, this looks like shit, but going over 2,600 is actually a good goal for a lot of builds. So at 2,600, it's like I can start damaging things a little bit. So that's not terrible. Damage is all right, not great, but it's Scourge. I'll talk about Scourge Strike in a bit. Armor. This is a little bit squishy, but I've gotten my absorption up to 100%. Now, a lot of cases you want this to be over 2,000, but 100% armor absorption is really a big part of that. Like you want that armor absorption. So I added a little bit here, which some of my gear has armor. There's armor absorption by 27 on this helmet. This is actually a pretty helpful little helmet right here. It has the really high stun reduction and the armor absorption. Very good find. You can go find these in the Corvin Sands. You can just farm them like these rares. You just got to get a good roll, so keep at it. But you can find helmets like this in the game. Not too hard. You'll find a bunch of these in Temple of Osiris. You'll find a lot of these helms of the Void or Keeper, Corvine helm. Let's start with the weapon. Essence Drinker's Spectral Warmalt Cake. I've had this item for like years, just sitting in my box, and it's one of these, Warmalls you find in like the Steps of Torment, like these underground spectral areas. This thing right here has pretty high damage rolls. Like, look at that. We're approaching 670 vitality with good decay roll too. Aether damage isn't great, but you also have a little bit of conversion mixed in too. You also get the boost to these come with these boosts to Siphon Souls and Drain Essence. You get the minus Vit resistance to Siphon Souls, so it makes Siphon Souls more dangerous as a tool. And then another thing about Siphon Souls, I'll go over that in a minute. I've converted my Cypher Souls to do Aether damage. This adds duration to the skill. So the effect of Siphon Souls is increased. Right? It's just interesting. So you get the Blood Boil. I think this also helps Blood Boil, right? Because you have per second, right? And then because you get the vitality damage decay. I don't really care about bleeding, but the vitality decay per second. So this is currently a 17-second duration. So usually is a 14-second duration. This also means that the health regeneration debuff, 79% reduction, is also, but look at that, 70, like, dude, any enemies that have health regen or those annoying regeneration mobs, this thing just completely cripples them. And this makes kiting more effective because you're preventing them from continuing a good healing pattern. And healing patterns are annoying because if you're kiting with a character and you can't get some of these annoying mobs to regen, it helps you sustain your damage. Once again, keeping the health bar lower without having to be in their face all the time. That's one of the tools that you use. We're also going with a Fiend Scale Jacket. This has that nice contagion ability. You see that there. And some pretty good resistance stats on this piece of gear as well. Nice find. We're using the Wendigomain leggings. These have built-in Siphon Souls. It's a much smaller version of Siphon Souls, but again, you're getting another proc of Siphon Souls on this character. Awesome. It's a much smaller one, and you'll actually see it around the character. It's a smaller purple bubble. The one I use is this huge green one because I've converted it to Aether, and I've increased its radius a lot. But the little one's a little vitality circle that goes around my character. I'm also using a Scourge. This thing, I'll talk about it right now. The Scourge Strike. I just added this recently. And Scourge Strike, it can do some damage. It really helps. Look at this, 99,000 now with my buffs on, almost 100,000. Dude, this is not bad. This is pretty good. So Scourge Strike is like it's like a Reeve ability. It hits a bunch of enemies in front of you. It applies cold and vitality. It gives you health back as well. You're starting to notice a theme, right? This character has a lot of vampiric abilities. It's a health drinking character. I steal a lot of health from enemies with this build. I'm also using Reaping Strike. I've maxed that out because again, you're increasing the amount of damage, but also the amount converted to health. So this is really like an interesting character. I'm using some rings and whatnot, some extra vitality, the Signet of the Fallen and Albert's Duality. These are nice. I'm not going to go crazy about them, but they're nice. Like they have some good, I get some Reaping Strike buffs and some additional Aether damage, some good resists on it. Oh, and one more piece of the puzzle like I really want to focus on here is this Vigor's Hunger. This is great for Siphon Souls. Look at the buffs to Siphon Souls, right? Not really using Drain Essence on this build, but Siphon Souls, absolutely. And you get Leeching Nova too. So more leeching, more health steal, more, just continual. And the build's a little bit heavy on the keys, but like it's designed that way. So we'll zoom out a little bit. So you get the buffs, you go in with the teleport, and you can Reap Strike, and they're gone. What's interesting about, we're also using Word of Pain. I forgot to mention that. So Word of Pain is my big debuff. That was a nice little crit there. Word of Pain, let's go to it. A very important skill for this character. Word of Pain is a massive skill for this character. I can apply a debuff to all these characters, and you can spam this thing. That's why it's my #1 key. You just spam Word of Pain out. You nerf their health regen again. You lower their aim chance. I also added points here because of the target area. I want to get more enemies within target. And then I've maxed out Death Sentence to get really lower Aether res. That helps all of my skills. My Siphon Souls do more damage. It pierces their resist better. Word of Pain, go in there, and then you can start Reap Striking, and you can start Scourging, and they're gone. So it is a little bit of a spam heavy character. Like I'm pressing right click a lot for Scourge Strike. I gotta proc it every time I can. But we're going through these a lot. I have Inquisitor Seal here. This helps again with the defense. This is important. You definitely want Inquisitor Seal on any one of these Inquisitor characters. It's a very helpful skill. It's actually one of my favorite skills, probably in the game. I hope that they don't I think it's a great skill because it's a fairly refined area, but the Inquisitor really needs something like this in their arsenal. It's very important to have this. You get added offense and defense. You apply a little bit of damage. You increase your health regen, elemental resistances, and then I've maxed out Arcane Empowerment. I want, again, just like here, I've added raw damage to this character. I need that extra crit and the damage to help. Because again, my stats aren't really buffing me enough in that area. So you know, we're gonna do that. Bum, 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 boom, and they're gone. Like, cool. Done. So it's a little bit of a piano key sort of character. It's cool. Got piano keys. Boom. I love using the warp in there. It's pretty awesome. Just, you know, that's a glyph. It's the glyph is the glyph of arcane insights. What a cool skill. What a cool skill. And look at that as well. You get more crit damage when you use it. So again, more buffs to my damage. I burst right in there with that, and I start hitting enemies. Now, once again, we're not done with this character. Let me actually show you. Like right now, again, armor is not great. My stun is okay. My defenses are. Here's the bigger problem. My phys res is at 23%. Okay. I like having over 20 phys res in any build. I don't care what it is. You gotta have over 20. I found that even having like 30, 40, even up to like 50, you know, some of these endgame bosses still whack you. They whack you with like the big hits that hit you. Oh, they hit you. They cut through your defenses like butter. So this is still on the squishy side. And that's why, like I have no disruption resist. I have very low resists on some of these areas. This is not ideal. This is not great. It's again, like, as long as I can kind of kite and be a little more mobile and get in and out of things, I'm okay. But it's not, trust me, we're not done. It's not ideal, and we're still working on things. But let's try Osire. I feel like Osire is a good build benchmark for earlier on. Like, there's a couple of things that, like, I don't think this character can like take on like some of the super bosses, but it's good for farming at the moment, and we'll work on it. Ultimately, will I have to go with a one-hander and a shield and maybe adjust it a little bit? I might have to. I find that shields are just way too important in the game right now. They help so much against bosses. Like, like having this Reap Strike build, like right now this is Reap Strike. Like against one enemy, I'm fine, little average enemy, but it's like, who cares about them? You care about the bosses, you care about the big enemies, and they hit you like a truck. You know, we don't have any debuffs in here, you know, in the area. This is a normal zone. Ooh, big. Cool. A Siphon Soul's Wraith. Oh, maybe I can show when my offensive ability goes higher. Let's actually do that. There we go, 2607. So you can see that that's more respectable. So when you have like 2607, that's pretty good. You know, you want over 2600. That's a nice goal. I've researched that a little bit. I've heard that people say having that much in your skill set is important. You want that amount of damage available because it'll help you clear stuff, and that's important. All right, we're going to debuff. We're going to hit him with that stuff. Nice. Cool. They're both gone. And so that's how the build works. It's kind of like get your health back, try to resist stuff, but I'll show you why it's just not ready yet. We'll go get killed. We're gonna go get intentionally killed. That's what I'm gonna show you. Like, I'm gonna show you that it's not ready for prime time yet. We're getting there. See that damage right there? You see my health bar? That's dangerous. Like, these are regular enemies, and that they're cutting through me like butter. It's just how it is. Cunning. Really? 200, over 200 on a high cunning build, over 200 extra? Not nothing. You think about that, that's a good cunning roll. Interesting. Boom, that was Scourge Strike. Big buff to Scourge Strike there. That was nice. When you can do stuff like that, it's definitely nice to have that. Word of Pain, Word of Pain. Scourge Strike, froze him. Get my health back. Boom, Scourge Strike. All right, froze. I think they're going to buff freezing abilities in the game, so that's nice. So with the when the update comes out, I think they are going to buff freeze a little bit, making it more useful against harder enemies. Like right now, you can't really freeze bosses at all. There's no like buff to freezing bosses. None. Oh, big damage. So see that? Like, okay, I'm actually like I'm actually dead. So there we go. Like, it's not ideal yet. We're getting through. We're getting through, but some of these enemies still hit way too hard. And that was again my point with the shield. Like, it's still too squishy. Having a shield, it's just so helpful. It's way too helpful to have a shield. It's way too good. But you know, it's like, where could I add more defense? Let's take a look. Some of these right now are a little low. Let's start with the fact Pierce right now is not doing so great. Like 46. Yeah. These two are not like ideal. I've put poison and pierce and cold on all of my gear in terms of the augments. Like I've just thrown that on there. What, I have chaos res here. Oh, chaos has word of renewal on it, so that helps. But like, oh, here's one thing I want to talk about as well. I forgot to talk about this. I have this belt on. 133 bleed resistance. I think it's the highest single resistance stat I've ever found. You can find these high bleed resist pieces of gear, but this like just enabled the build to happen. Like without this, my bleed resist goes in the shitter, right? This is keeping my build alive. You get the reduce entrapment, and then you get ether to elemental conversion. This is fascinating because this adds a different damage type. This adds to the cold damage that the build uses. That's why I believe that Scourge Strike is actually doing some more damage because, again, I've buffed all that Aether damage in the character, and it's now going towards the cold damage and Scourge Strike. That's why this is pretty high. This is not nothing. It's 100,000. It's pretty good because of that conversion. I think that is where the boost in cold is coming from. I don't have cold damage historically in this build at all. Like I don't really focus on it, but there it is. And other things in the build, other things from the character do focus on cold damage. I believe Necrotic Edge uses cold damage. Which, again, my Aether damage, half of it is going towards the cold damage in Necromancer. So, well, half of it, elemental damage conversion, does it go to all three, or does it split it more? I actually don't know. But a percentage is going towards cold. So it's a little bit of something, right? as you were seeing there, some of these enemies were hitting me way too hard. And it's like... There's the decay. I think that's chaos, or is it like something? I don't know what's really hitting me, frankly. I am not. I gotta look up these stupid things. Their damage type. These guys, I think, hit with pierce, and that hurts. It is what it is. It hurts. We're getting some orange crits, which are nice. That's, again, we're going back to the damage discussion. It's good to have orange crits in your build. So you want to look for the color orange. It's important. If you don't see orange in your damage stats, you don't have enough damage, or you're struggling a little bit on the damage side. So the fact that we have some of the darker yellows popping up is a good thing. We like seeing that. Boom. Some misses because of my low OA, but again, it's as good as I can do at the moment. We're working on the build. It's not done. Oh, okay. See, okay. So right there, too much. This character can't hang with some of these bigger, situations. But I do have some health mitigation, health restoration to help with that. Oh, I missed one of my Inquisitor seals. That's funny. All right. My Siphon Souls helps with this character a bunch. All right, cool. I got to get better at placing my Inquisitor seals. I think that's also one of the things you just got to focus on, is making sure I'm in the Inquisitor zone. If I'm not, then it's like I'm not protecting myself all the way, and that I need to be in the Inquisitor circle against some of these mobs. Like, I really do. Boom. Gotta get in the Inquisitor zone. You gotta get in the Inquisitor zone. Oh, big crit there. Nice. Okay. Did I did that try? Pierce resistance 101 and reduce stun? Wrong damage type, but that could help with build. I like seeing those high resistance stats. Those can be very helpful. Just for new characters and leveling and whatnot. I haven't done. Oh, Desecrated Shrine. I haven't done this yet. That's funny. We'll do this. Here. Nice. Boom. Nice. Yes, an Ancient Heart. Thank you. Siphon Souls. Siphon Souls. Boom. Nice. Okay. Nice. Yes. See, these guys still hurt me, and it's like these guys are great testers of a build, actually. Like I kind of like how Crate did this, because these are the types of enemies where they're just regular mobs, but against builds like that you're testing, they are a great source of interesting. You got conversion, attraction, elemental res. You got. I'll show you with this boss. I've beaten this boss before. Did I use the same build against him last time? I had to kite the fuck out of this guy. That's right. Oh, I had to kite him. I had to really kite him. There's health again. I don't know if I can beat him actually without things. Maybe. No. I need a health potion against this guy. Oh, no, too much. So there we go. See, this is why I wanted to come in here against Osiris, because, again, you see I was getting resisted and stuff, and I couldn't do anything. That's exactly why I wanted to show that this build isn't ready yet. It's on its way, but I'm not there yet. Like, so it's a work in progress. We're making some good results, but it's just not ready. Again, I'm more concerned about this stuff. I have to figure it out. It's not done. I'm currently using this very, very nice mark here, which has ridiculous fire and lightning res, because you get the elemental res on top of it, and then has some Harbinger of Souls, some vitality damage. I could find a better metal. And then also, there might be a way for me to incorporate lead and get a better belt. Like, it could be that that's helpful. Right now, this belt is giving me 1 resistance, a little bit of a reduced trap, and some conversion, but there could be a better belt. Again, you're getting hit with this stuff, man. This kills builds right here. This is the sort of stuff where you can't resist some of this stuff effectively. You get squashed. I think I got stunned. I think my stun resist is still just a little too shy. I'm over 11%, but I think it's better to have even more than that. So, overall, again, work in progress. We'll see where this goes. Checking the time. But there's some good progress. Like I'm liking some of the things that I see. Scourge Strike can do some big damage. If I were to like change this to a cunning character, like the problem is I'm not focusing on this damage source. I'm focusing on the elemental damage sources. And Scourge does main hand damage, cold, and vitality. And it has full conversion. Now here, that's the one thing, right? So it has full conversion. So if I do boost my cunning and respec this character a little bit, just a little bit, I'm going to get that bonus fizz, and I'm going to get that into Scourge Strike, which would be a powerful single target skill. And because of this, again, I'm boosting the Aether into cold. That the Aether that this character utilizes. And then here, I'm getting physical Aether on this, and then I'm getting some other sources of conversion on this character. Like, it's going back towards the cold. Like, I'm making a cycle. This is going towards cold. This is fizz to Aether, Aether to cold, fizz here to cold, fizz to Aether, and Aether's, like, some of this vitality damage is Aether damage. Like, so it's like, I don't know. There could be a way to like make this a massive boss killing style skill. Like, you could amp this thing up to a very high level. I could see it happening. I wonder if there's like a Scourge Strike build. How interesting to use a glyph, right? A relic as your like boss kill. I wonder. Like, that's interesting to me. I wonder. Right now, again, the problem is it's just like I was focusing on something else. But if I like went in on Scourge Strike and really I added more cunning, I put no points into cunning. One thing where it's like, this is with no cunning. So, do I do that? Having the nice like AoE, it's helpful. Like, I can't face tank with this character. There's no way. But like that Scourge Strike could one-shot enemies with more investment. I don't think I'll ever get to a point where a build, like, I could use a guide, but I don't think I'll ever self-find a build that can, like, hit these bosses, like real bosses, and, like, lower their health in, like, 3 hits. I don't know if, that's a real dedicated bosser build. I like builds that have a little bit of farming value, because I like farming. So I've always valued having some variety in my damage sources. Like bossers, they go in for the massive single target, like massive. Like I could turn this into like a Scourge Strike massive killer, just like boom, I have all the damage on my side. I could see it happening. You get the crit bonuses, maybe get some better OA going. But like it's not quite ready yet. I might need to go more into cunning, because if I'm really focusing on the melee skills here, which this character does, I need to have more cunning. I need to have more base physical damage. You see that? You got Fizz to Aether and Fizz to Vitality. That goes right here. And that is boosted by cunning. And that helps those skills do better. Like right now, the character does have too much just direct spirit. I will agree to that. And I feel like the strike skills might be more helpful. If I could have like just a sustained strike skill, you have Reaping Strike could actually start just clearing these mobs more effectively. Like right now, see the buff? That's the Siphon Souls. See that? Nah, not great. Like it helps a little bit. Oh, look at this. If I want to be the kite, I could do it. But cunning would help. So I think I have to invest. I have to rebalance, invest more into cunning, and I wonder if I have a respec potion somewhere. I have to look into that. I actually used 2 for this character. I did go to this like full spirit, like big spirit build. I had balanced it out a little bit before, but I feel like I am shifting towards using the strike skills a little bit more proactively, and like the auras can be helpful, no doubt about it. But this is yeah. I just don't think that these skills, the aura skills, do enough damage to warrant their like this high spirit investment. Like, not that I'm drained for mana or anything. It's just that I kind of like the debuff like that. Like this those procs, that's all from like the spirit amp that I'm doing, and it helps. Like that buff, see this stuff? But that one strike does way more. Like it just boom, And Siphon Souls is like not clearing these guys in one hit, even with all the spirit investment. Like that did. Like here, I'll do Siphon Souls right. Boom. There's Siphon Souls. There's Scourge Strike. Like, it's I think I do have to balance my cunning out more. Bonus duration damage too. I've become more of a barbarian death, like necrotic barbarian sort of thing. I think I have to have more cunning. There's no doubt. I need more cunning in this build. 100%. 100%. Without question. Without question. The question I have is, do I have more potions that I could do that? Like if Reaping Strike becomes way more valuable, then it's going to be regenerating my health a lot better. And if it's regenerating my health a lot better, I can face tank better. And that's really what it's all about. I could try it on stream. I could try to respec. I just don't want to waste my respec so quickly. Let's see what I've got in my ugly, disorganized stat. I do. I have one in here. I have one with him. Before we commit to this, which I'm probably going to commit to it anyway, but I just want to like see. I have other respecs lying around from other playthroughs. Shade, I think I respect more than anyone. This is my, again, this is my Ravager. Almost, I know she is Ravager viable, but not ideal. But for Self-Found low tier shit, I feel like it's pretty awesome to have good old Ravager on here. Oh, it's so good. So good to have that right there on this Self-Found character. I love it. Attributes. No. Nope. I don't think she has any unless they're hidden in my really disorganized stash somewhere. One thing I hope, I don't know if they say this in the update, but I hope that they have for unorganized people like me, I hope that they have a filter for your inventory. Oh, would that be amazing? You know, imagine an inventory filter. That would be tremendous. You know, I may just have to commit to it. I may just have to say, hey, I need to get one of these characters through campaign and get another potion. Oh, I might have to choose another playthrough at some point. Can you imagine? But yeah, I may have to do that. Devotion. Let me go to the. I don't have the. I don't have the stash unlocked here. Let's see. Wait. Yes. I got 3 of them. Yeah, I thought so. All right, so this is the shared stash. Yes, it is. Fuck yeah, man. Let's go. Let's go. All right, we can definitely do this. We got 3 additional tries to respec attributes. I love it. So, also anyone who's curious, that's how you incentivize replays. You give all characters access to these tools. Like, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Give rewards for playing through the campaign. Make it incentivizing. Do it. We don't, you know, as great as the campaign is, playing through the same thing over and over does get tiring at a certain point. Make it a worthwhile investment for people. Exactly what we're talking about. So, all right, good. We have the ability to do that. So we are going to do it. I think what I am going to end up doing, right now I have 64 points into physique. I think what I'm going to do is a 60, 20, 20 split. I could even just like go all crazy and try that high cunning build that I was thinking about, this is a time to do it. So first I'll sell some of this shit, but I am very intrigued. All right, we're gonna get rid of that. I don't care. Nope. Goodbye. Any of this shit. We could try it. I think I'm going to. Hey, what happened to my character? All right, 104 points available. Let's go. Oh, look, she's gaining all of her clothes back. Let's try the higher cunning build. I want to go to 1,000. There we go. It's there. Let's see. $20 points in the physique. It is boosting it. 2, 23, 24, 25, 26. I'm in 28, 29, 30, right? 30 points. $10 into spirit. Like now, you see how I'm like going up here? Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. All right, there it is. So I've added, 36 points into cunning. I'm up to, over 1,000 physique. Again, like how I always want to hit 1,000 physique. That's good. But let's see, because now this should be doing more. I'm getting more physical conversion. I'm getting more physical conversion. It actually says I'm doing less. It says on paper that I'm doing less. But I don't believe it, because here's the thing. I don't know if it's fully taking into account all the fact that the conversion's happening. Let's just take a look. Oh, look at the damage difference. Did you see that? Yeah. No, I think, again, we're early here. We're early on the test. But, nah, man. Let's yeah. Okay. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. Getting debuffed. Does it make a huge difference? I frankly don't know. This is why we're testing it, though. This is why we're testing it, because, and that's also why I wanted to have multiple potions. I think it's helping with Reap Strike. I think definitely. If I were to like refocus the character, maybe I get rid of the Siphon Soul's focus and I go towards something else a little bit more, because maybe that's what it takes. Oh. Yeah, like having more of my Reap Strikes go off should be helpful. I don't see why that should be a negative. It's like 75,000. All right. I don't know. Is that better? Is that better? Who knows? So yeah, once I'm in my Inquisitor seal, it's back. But again, I'm hitting more often. And, well, yeah, my offensive ability is a little better, too. Because then it will get buffed later on. I don't know. This seems a little bit more consistent to me. And again, because I'm going for a necrotic sort of regen character, it means I'm hitting them more and getting my health back more. And that's really important. Let's test it against the Beetle boss, who does a lot of poison. My poison is not ideal either, but I want to see how the regen's doing. This is a good test of your regen, in case you weren't aware. Like a good build can hang with this boss pretty efficiently. Hey, we'll take it. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I found like 8,000 of those. They're a craftable item as well. We'll take it. Yeah, so I'm focusing. See, like maybe what I do with this character, I'm not really changing too much about it, stat wise, but maybe I put more focus into the Reap Strike, and I can keep the Aether damage nice and high. So like this Wormwall is still helpful in that regard. It could still be a good layout, but maybe like I could focus on really being this like regen monster that just has more consistency. We'll see though. Like, wow. Have I ever found this? Ever? A Phrygius? Have I? That might be new to me. So we have more elemental res on these characters. Beautiful. So that's nice. Let's take on the boss, see what happens. Can't hang. See, like, even then, it's still too much. Run. All right. Yeah, like I ain't fighting the Mad Queen with this character. There's no way. Even worth my time? Produce stun. All right, so it seems like it's kind of irrelevant, frankly. Like I don't think it really changed all that much, frankly. It seems pretty similar. I will say it helps. Kind of having a mixed bag, because that's like the character is that style of character. It's like I'm combining some melee with some AoE. Yeah, this could be something later. Just not right now. It's too squishy at the moment. But it's not terrible. Like for farming, it's getting there. And yeah, interesting to see. So, but yeah, bosses like that, too much. Like I still can't hang. This is still too low. I know people might be shocked if you're not as experienced, but you really want like 60+% over the cap. Like, this is still not great. When we're talking about the highest end content, you want, like, against Mugdragon, this is not sufficient. He's gonna cut your lightning rays in particular. Like, he's gonna cut that by like I don't know what the cut is, but it's like 90%. And then he has like all these mobs hitting you, and it's just like you start taking damage even with overcapped resistance. It doesn't even matter. You get demolished by him. So without potions, again, I always try to run without potions, or whatever you want to call it. But I don't run them with potions. I like to try and push a build to its limits. So right now we're high campaign. That's where this character is. We're not at. I don't even know if I can. I gotta first of all see if I can take on Kaiman and Korvac and all those idiots. Like, I'm taking damage from people like this beetle, and it's like, this beetle does a lot of damage, but it is what it is. So again, interesting idea. That's the other fun part about this game is like there is some content that your character will be better at than other content. Having a character that can do Steps of Torment, high end Steps of Torment, it's using one of the high tier classes. Like, what are the best ones? Deceiver. I'm just totally blanking on the names. Warlord, Deceiver, Purifier. I don't know. There's like some of these builds that are just so powerful. They have the Soldier giving them like 25, 30,000 health. You got Shaman builds doing like 500,000 single strike damage. Like, this character's never going to do 500 single strike damage, no matter how much I invest in it. Like, these apostates without a set, they don't get to that level. So it's like, you got to try and mix and match, see what you can do. And that's how I view games like this. I always like to try and experiment. I don't like to follow guides necessarily for the best thing. I like to find interesting build ideas. It's not about the best. It's about being interesting and competent. If you want to go find the best stuff, go find the best stuff. I don't care about the best stuff, because it's one thing to beat something and you followed an ABC guide how to do it. That's great. It's another thing when you can tell people that you built something from scratch legitimately, if it loads the character, thank you, and you beat an endgame boss with it. That is more rewarding. And for me, it's more important that a low tier or less viable character can achieve something, because it means that you thought of creative ways to overcome the problem. And that's how I view games like this. I always like this character has shit damage. You see that, right? No orange crits, nothing. Nothing. Terrible damage. Not good. But I was able to kite and beat Ravager with it. Not easily, but I did. And you can see this character, some of these resistances are way better. Not all of them, but some of them are. And it's just like, I wonder why, This is a slightly higher spirit character as well, because again, I'm focusing more on kiting. I'm focusing more on AoE, tick and kite. But look at these, much better. These are better. And this is better because I'm using a shield. So it's like, okay. And then I have other mitigation factors in this character as well, where the Blackwater Cocktail, which is a very good skill, is helping me with my defense because it nerfs the enemies around it, And once I approach an enemy, this character is way more focused on resistance nerf. So even though my crits suck, the raw damage that I'm getting to the health bar is actually better because of the resistance cut. It's still not great AoE, but it is competent. I don't know, I haven't played this Saboteur in a little bit. I have to remember I have that thing there, and it's like, oops. So there's ways to build the character. Oh yeah, that's also a debuff. Ah, that's right. So I'm using Herians, and I gotta have Herians proccing all the time. There we go. So again, you're nerfing the enemy in a different way than just hitting raw big numbers. And that's a different style of character where, and I've been able to start face tanking content and actually survived. I was able to get Bogdragdan down to half health, and actually was able to kite his post, or what do you want to call it, his enraged state. I was able to kite it and survive it. Do I have this thing? What? Oh man, it's been a. What is this? I mean, do I need this? No, I've held on to that for way too long. This is also completely unnecessary. I mean, I've held on to that for a while. What the hell can I get rid of? First of all, I meant to get rid of some of these stupid things, man. Like, I don't need any of this trash. This is gloves, right? Oh, I've found those before. Okay. But point being, it's just interesting that you can make characters effective in different ways. That's my point. Like, you can make characters that are effective, not just big numbers. Like, oh, big damage. Some games just say, make big damage. Okay, cool. Thanks for telling me that. Big damage. How about my damage is applied in different ways? Oh, the enemy has high resistances. Let me cut those. Let me get through that. So my damage is respectable, not just because, like, these numbers suck, but it's just enough where, you know, these numbers are trash, but it's just enough where I can actually do things. And it's not like this character actually has better clear speed in general, like just effectiveness, than that giant, chill surge skill from my Apostate, because my Apostate is too squishy right now. And I'm working on it, but that's the point. Like, this character's overall performance is better because its overall stats, its efficiency, its defenses are better. And that's a great progression system when you can incorporate other factors into your strength other than just big number. Big numbers, bad design. So there you go. That's my rant over. And I'm going to wrap up here. I think I wanted to show the Apostate a little bit more, just an update on that. And it was, it's a lot of fun to, like, have progress on a character, see where it's evolving, where you need to work on. It's definitely not done yet. We know, like, I need to improve maybe the direction of the character a little bit. Do I need another one of those? I actually might. More gear that I have to, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I've definitely found those. There's no way I haven't found those. Wait a minute. First of all, I'm gonna get rid of, like, all these stupid components. So many components. Why am I, like, still picking these things up? I don't care. All right. So one, I have these. I've had a million. A million. I've found this item like 4,000 times. All right. Let's solve the puzzle here. Oh yeah, get rid of this. Get rid of this. And you, I think I actually need another one of these. I know it sounds crazy, but well, you know, I need to compare it. That's what I. We're gonna end there. All right. Well, there it is. Let's do that. It was a good time.